What is good? What is good? We
Hey!
are back in the mix. What is going on, Jazz? What is good with you?
Happy weekend! Happy weekend! Welcome to the JC Lounge. You already know what time it is. Welcome, everybody. We're so glad to see you. You know, we off the good.
Look, I had to turn on the music because we get down in the JC Lounge. That's what we do every time, right, Jazz? Every time we step in here, Friday nights is always a vibe.
Every time.
And when they see us, they know that it's Friday. They know it's weekend time, and we can talk ball. You know what I'm saying? And you know how we get down.
So on today's menu on the barista list, I have a lime pineapple Rita. So we got some pineapples in here, a little bit of ice, and some 1800.
Hey, I got my 1800 on deck. You know what I'm saying? Got to mix it in a little bit with a little bit of orange juice. You know what I'm saying? Got to hype it up a little bit. You know how we do on Friday, man.
Yo, but shout out to everybody. This is gonna be a early Father's Day production segment. So, shout out to all the dads that are tapping and tuning in.
Right. Shout out to everybody. Hey, thank y'all so much for coming through. Hey, Jazz, for some reason your sounds a little bit choppy. It's a little choppy right now.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Let me see. Let me just take this off. I'm sorry, honey.
Hey, shout out to Etta. What is good, Etta? What it do? How you doing? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. She said happy Father's Day. Thank you. I appreciate you. Hey, what's up, D Block? What's good, D Block? Hey, bro, what is going on, man? Happy Friday to everybody. My man said I get to fully enjoy the lounge experience when I'm off, but for now, your guy is checking in while fighting this time clock. Hey, that's what's up, bro. Thank you so much for stopping by. It's always love over here. Definitely always love. And it's always a good time to talk Cowboys football. Always a good time. And the thing is with me, right? Like, I don't go live as much. So when I do hop on, it's always good things to talk about. A lot of spicy little topics and stuff like that we can get into and chop it up. So we gonna get it going. Hey, there she is. There she is.
That's my favorite, Mickey.
Hey, shout out to Mickey. What it do, Mickey? Shout out to you. What is going on? We in the building, Mickey.
Etta, Regina, those my girls, man. We got some girls in the house.
Yeah, I know, right? Hey, Mickey said she had pineapple juice, Jazz, in her cup, or pineapples in her cup. So she inspired me with pineapples too. Hey, shout out to you. Shout out to you. All right, so let's get down to it. We're gonna get straight to it. You know what I'm saying? Always gotta bring good vibes when it comes down to the JC Lounge, man. So definitely want to talk about this guy. Let's get to it, man. Isaiah Land, you know what I'm saying? The thing is with him, he's 6'3", 236 pounds. He ran a 4.62 and a 40, right? He's a fifth-year senior who had a breakout year as a junior. They say he was concerned about the whole draft process being that Marquise Bell, our own guy, he didn't get drafted, but we picked him up. But the thing is, what he did was he entered the transfer portal in 2022, and he got offers from Georgia, Texas, and other schools, but he decided to stay with Florida A&M, and he balled out in his final season. He was a first-team All-American. He won first-team All-SWAC, and he won All-SWAC Defensive Player of the Year. He's a long-armed, his whole frame. I mean, this dude he kind of reminds me of a Randy Gregory. I mean, he's a bendy type of player. This is the type of guy that has great closing speed, and he knows he has the knack for getting to the ball carrier. He shows good rip and dip moves, chop moves, all that. But the thing is, going against bigger tackles, that's what it's going to be. He's going to have to get down to the technique things, but the dude set a lot of school records. The man I think he had a 5-sack game. He had 19 sacks in 2021, and he was one shy from the school record. In his career, he had 90 tackles, 42 tackles for a loss, 28 and a half sacks, 4 forced fumbles, 7 pass deflections, and 1 interception. So the man put in a lot of work. And the thing is about this guy, like, if you can be able to scheme him and having guys like Dan Quinn by your side, you can bring the best out of this player. When you're going against tackles like Tyler Smith, when you're going against tackles like Tyron Smith, it's only going to make you better. Only going to make you better. But we all know with Dan Quinn in this type of scheme, they like bendy guys. They like guys that can get off the line of scrimmage quickly, use their hands, disengage, and it's going to be fireworks, y'all. I can't wait to see this guy, and I can't, man, it's going to be good. It's definitely going to be good with him, so it's going to be fireworks. What's up, Coach Marv? What's going on, man? He said, can I come chop it up for a minute? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Come on in, bro. Let me see if I can send a link from, because this is what I wanted to do, right? I wanted to do a Fan Friday. So if any of you guys want to come in, y'all want to come chop it up, y'all don't even need to be seen. All right? Because I think you can have like a little option where you don't even need to be seen. I know you probably got your little robe on and stuff. But the thing is, if you guys can be able to come in, chop it up with us in the JC Lounge, that'll be awesome. I'm going to send a link, or Jazz, you can send a link or whatever, and I'll put it inside the comment.
Where do you have it, honey?
Let me see. Hold on. Let me see. I don't think you can do it. Let me see.
Maybe
if I can be able to copy and paste it. Let me see.
Okay.
All right. Let's see.
Yeah, we trying to do fantastic Fan Fridays.
Let me see. All right. Let me see if y'all, if that link did it show up as a link? I'm not sure if it did.
Yeah, it did.
It showed up as a link. All right. Yeah. Hey, link me in, baby. Link me in. Link me in.
If I can, I don't know. Well, let me see.
Hey, shout out to Mickey. She said, man, it's crazy how much depth we have this year. Yeah, hey, it's all about depth, man. Because the thing is, we all know that Dan Quinn, they bring these guys in waves. It's huge. It's huge. And we don't want to get caught up in having Micah Parsons just there or having DeMarcus Lawrence just there. You got to bring these guys in waves. And it's the same thing with the cornerback position. You got to bring those guys in because you never know. You can't have enough cornerbacks and you can't have enough pass rushers. It's everything in the game of football. Hey, shout out. He said, bro, y'all channel is growing. Hey, thank you so much, man. Thank you, man. Thank you, man. Definitely coming out with that heat. Every time I come through, definitely got to come with the heat.
We're not live all the time, so, you know.
Hey, shout out to my man, Coach Marv in the building.
What's going on, man? What's going on? Hey, how y'all doing, the JCs? How y'all doing?
Good, how are you? Look at you.
You know it's always good energy when you come through, brother. I don't know if you can hear me or not. Can you hear me, brother?
Yeah, man. You know, hey, man, I'm so excited about this. Yeah, I can hear you. I'm so excited about this coming season, man. I mean, just can't wait for training camp get going, man. Really can't.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be good, man. I'm so excited. And the good thing is, it's like with the Dallas Cowboys, man, we bring in all these guys. And I know with you preach efficiency, you preach details. Those are the little things. And it starts with training camp. It starts with mini camp and bringing in guys. I was talking about my guy, Isaiah Land. Let me know what you think about Isaiah Land, because I think he can be a good one for us, Coach Marv.
Well, you know, I got a little, a black college football connection. And Isaiah Lamb is a very good talent. He has in-between size, though. And he's a great developmental player that we can hopefully we can stash on our practice squad, because if you look at the Cowboys defensive end room, it's going to be lacking in the years coming after this year. Dante Fowler, which nobody's talking about him, I'm looking for him to great season, but he's on a 1-year contract. Dorance Armstrong on the last year of his contract. This is probably D-Law last year in Dallas. He's gotten 3 contracts from the Cowboys. He's not going to get another one. I don't think he's going to go. I think this is his final swan call. So you only did have Sam Williams and Michael Parsons maybe at a part-time basis, not a full-time basis. So you're looking for other guys to come in to play defensive end. So it's a great opportunity for him to get some playing, not getting no playing time this year, but to hone in and get his skills together, because he has the skill technique, but he's not a guy that you're not going. He's a guy that he's a positional type of player where you put him in certain positions, certain things you want him to do. He's not big enough to be an everyday defensive end.
Yeah, But sometimes that's okay though. You know what I mean? Because a lot of these players, they're not going to come in here super, super strong. You got to get into the NFL weight room program and all that good stuff. I think he can be a good one. But I did hear you mention DeMarcus Lawrence. That's a big deal with him. You think that this is going to be his last year this year?
Well, let's look at it. He got his rookie contract. He signed another contract, and then they signed another contract 3 years ago. So there's no more money. D-Law played with a lot of D-Law played well last year, very well, but he was hurt all year long with knee and ankle things. His body is really beat up, but his production was still good for his body being beat up. So when he signed this last contract with the Cowboys, I know in that room that they'll say, okay, 3 years and that's it. And that's basically what, where it's going to come down to him. It's not, D-Law is at the end of his career. And with a lot of these injuries he's having, JC, when a guy gets like that, he gets banged up like that and his body starts to wear down. He's just trying to get to the Super Bowl because he sees his team got a great chance. But as of extending it for another 2 to 3 years, D-Law should be set because he has made a lot of money from the Cowboys. A lot of money. He made a lot of money that and he's fortunate to be able to say I play at one place, and I don't look for him to go no place else because when you get this long in the tooth and you've been in a city, you got family now, he got kids. He's not trying to uproot them or leave them to go play any place else. I think this is it for him, and I understand that, and that's why he understands that too. So, but I think he's going to have a great year.
Yeah, right. He's definitely a good player, and my thing is like the stuff that he does on the field and off the field. Well, especially off the field, that rah guy, get these guys going. He does a very, very good job of that. But as far as being on the field, DeMarcus Lawrence has the talent to do it. But I want to see him step up when games really matter most.
Well,
if you're getting paid $100 million, just like you said, $100 million, that is a lot of money. You got to be one of the faces on this defense. And just like you said, a couple of these guys, this is a fairly young team, but a couple of these guys are getting older now. Dak Prescott is getting older. Zach Martin is getting older. A lot of these players, like at least 4 or 5 of these players are getting older now. So they got to step up. But as far as DeMarcus Lawrence, the time is now, Coach Marv. There's no excuses. You got to step up when you're playing against these big teams because that's what it's all about. Because we know Michael Parsons is going to bring it, bro.
Well, if you look at DeMarcus Lawrence's year, he made the Pro Bowl undoubtedly right off the bat. And you look at what a lot of teams say about him. A lot of people be looking for a lot of a 10-sack guy. DeMarcus Lawrence has caused at least 3 to 4 turnovers every year in the last 2 or 3 years. We don't win. I'll put it like this. We don't win the Texas game without DeMarcus Lawrence making the stop on the goal line. That was a huge play because if he doesn't make that stop, they score and we don't win. But that was just an individual play by him. And you're talking about interceptions, fumbles. He calls fumbles. He has interceptions. He gets a lot of disruption. His pressure rate is good because only thing he can't finish the sacks because of his legs. A guy do a little move here and there. He doesn't have that acceleration like he used to have. But as of playing good defensive end and his technique and his meanness, it's unmatched on that defensive line. And he led the team in defensive line tackles for loss. So, yeah,
but that's the stuff that people don't really pay attention to. You got to pay attention to things like that. Yeah, and being a left defensive end in our scheme, stopping the run is everything. You don't want to get so caught up into when it comes down to the pass rush and sack numbers and stuff like that. But the little things, are you setting the edge? Are you having gap integrity? Are you keeping everything inside? Those are the things that matters when it comes down to DeMarcus Lawrence. He knows that, but he's going to have to put that up on because the thing is, we got to keep this wide open, Cowboys Nation. Like, we watch everybody. It's been years and years and years since we've won. So if they ain't doing right, we got to point these guys out. and say, all right, man, this is what this player got to do to get better. I think he has what it takes, Coach Marv, but he just got to go out there and step up and do his job.
Well, Quinn's defense is built for DeMarcus Lawrence because of the fact there is not going to be a defensive lineman that's going to have all world stats for Quinn, because we play 8 guys and we play in rotation and they have their own set then when they come in the game. So the reason I say that fits D-Law, because D-Law is going to play a lot more inside. He already spoke upon that. He's going to play a lot more inside. And what that helps him is, because he doesn't have to play 65 plays. Now his body does have to be prepared for like 45, 46 plays. And one thing we really don't understand in football, I think, as a coach, when I was coaching, every player on your team, you know how many plays they can play and they can be productive. Once they get over that number, their production falls off. You know that as a coach with your players. You know that this guy right here is a 65% or 50% snap guy. Once he starts getting over that amount, he might do good one game when he get over that amount. But for the long haul, after he gets over that threshold, his production is going to drop off. So now we can let DeMarcus Lawrence play a lot less plays, and when he does, we're going to get big plays from him, because he's going to be able to save his legs and then have big plays and not getting worn down, where he could have made a big play, but he just was a little worn down. And especially when you get a guy a little older as he is. But like you said, a lot of guys are getting older. I really feel that this is Tyron Smith last year. I'm really feeling
me
really
too.
feeling the tea leaves that this may be and I said this before on your show, this might be Zach Martin's swan song, not because of
man, I don't know about that, man. That's my dog right there. I don't know. We're gonna go back. Hey, Jazz, make sure you give everybody a shout out real quick. Throw that in there real quick, Jazz. Give him a shout out, Jazz.
All right. Well, hey y'all. We got Michael in the building. Dope Meester is here. D Block, Mickey, you already know. Iceberg Slam, what's up, y'all?
Right.
DP Johnson, welcome to the live. Thank you for tapping in. Happy Friday. Happy early Father's Day to you all, including you, Coach Marv. You a daddy too.
Happy Father's Day.
Thank you.
I know we're in the JC Lounge. We're in the JC Lounge. Y'all turn up. Bring a cup. I don't care if it's water, wine. You know we kicking back. Coach Marv is in here with us. It's always good vibes over here, man. Thank y'all so much for tapping in with us. And this going to be a good one. This definitely going to be a good one. Let me get to the comments real quick. My man said, JC, we in here. What up, my guy? We got a hella depth at all levels on defense. We should be able to come up with not just waves of pass rushers, but we are deep enough. Nobody should get tired. Exactly. Just like Coach Marv said, you got to keep these guys fresh. Got to keep them fresh. If you can be able to get that pass rush, it's everything. And we all know that this is a passing league. A lot of times when you're starting off games, we're talking 4-3, we're talking 5-2 that we can potentially run, which is cool. But the thing is, these teams now, they're starting off in all 5 wide receiver sets. So you're running 3-3-5s, you're running big nickel, you're running nickel, the first player of the game. So pass rush is everything. Having athletic linebackers is everything. That's why we've talked about guys like Damone Clark. We've talked about guys like Overshown, guys that can be able to play that big nickel position. It's everything. But you got to get after the quarterback, Coach Marv. You already know how that goes.
Well, you got to get after the quarterback, but as I always tell people, you have to earn the right to rush the pass. And
right.
The way you earn the right, you have to stop the run first.
Facts.
If you don't stop the run first, you don't earn the right to rush the pass. So that's where, and teams are, listen, teams are not going to play into our strength. If they're smart, they will not come out against us with 5 wides and 4 wide receivers, because you're playing into our strength of getting after the quarterback. So what you want to do is what you've seen a lot last year, where they did a lot of misdirection and they slowed our rush down. Then they were able to pass because they slowed the rush down by trying to establish a physical presence. I even say it like this, JC. Even look at the game. Let's look at the game of the Kansas City and the Super Bowl, right? Kansas City and Philadelphia. Philadelphia had an awesome pass rush, but Kansas City said we were going to be committed to the run because we're going to slow their pass rush down and not let them get into that pass rushing groove of theirs, because if we do, they'll kill Patrick Mahomes. But when we slowed them down, right, and didn't let them get into that groove, at the end of the game, Patrick Mahomes had time to get the ball off because they wasn't in the groove. But if a team comes out early and try to get and let us get into a pass rushing groove, they're gonna have a long day because we are gonna show dominance. So they're trying to slow the game down. But last year, where we hurt JC is because our time possession as an offense was in the bottom half of the league. If our time possession in this year is like in the top 5, top 10, this defense will be the number 1 defense in the league, because they play less plays and less time. You're gonna get a defense is gonna be hard to deal with, because if you look back in the history of football, teams that had the dominating defense, their offense had great time possession where they had to play less plays.
Yeah, playing less plays. And the thing is, man, just like you said, man, that pass rush is everything. And the thing is, if we can be able to run the ball, do the basic things, and control the clock, and the defense can be able to pin their ears back and get after the pass rusher, and we know what they're doing, when offenses become predictable, just like you said, man, that's when Micah Parsons goes off. That's when DeMarcus Lawrence, all these guys can be able to get busy. I can't wait to see it, because we all know that the trenches matter. That matters. That's how you dictate games, offensive line and defensive line. And I believe that without offense and defense, we got the tools to be able to get it done, man. So it's gonna definitely be good. All right, let me go here real quick. What's good, y'all? What's good? Let me get to the comments real quick, man. Y'all commenting a lot. Let me go back to my man from the beginning. He said, JC, bro, Isaiah Lamb bench press is 380 and squats 600 pounds behind Mozzie Smith. He's the second player. He's the second player. Second best player Dallas drafted? Hey, that's saying a lot. That's definitely saying a lot. But he is a strong guy, and he's one of the guys that you mentioned in the JC Lounge, Iceberg, and I think that he can be a real good one for us. But just like Coach Marv said, it's going to take some time. He's going to have to refine, get himself together, because going against those tackles is going to be a big time battle. If he can be able to get stronger, he does have the chop moves, he has the rip moves, and just like I said, man, if you're around guys like DeMarcus Lawrence, you can learn a lot from him. What you think about him, Coach Marv? Yeah,
and I like another guy that we actually drafted for Hoko. For Hoko is he's kin to Via Veda, and he's a very strong guy. I think he's a weight room type of guy for Hoko. The guy that got out of San Diego State. He's very strong and very aggressive, and he has that trait of being strong from the Via Veda family. So he's a very strong guy, and he's a very athletic guy. And that's where this defense wants to have athletic guys. I think Cowboys are bringing these guys in to get their feet wet and to be the building blocks of a team of stacking their team, so they can continue to transition players out and move players up. And that's the greatest part of what we're going on. But JC, the main thing when you want to do this is the same thing I was saying on your last show when I did a super chat. This team has a feeling of what you build a football team off of. And it's off of 3 things. 1 mentality, 1 tempo, and 1 identity. Hey, so look, because I remember you said that. So since you on live now, you know what I'm saying? Because that one caught me off guard. So since you on live, you can go ahead and break it down. Since you're in the JC Lounge, because this is a home now to you. You know what I'm saying? It's always good to have you in here with me, man. It's always great energy. So break it down. Y'all talk. You see, y'all spread good football content. That's why I rock with y'all, man. Y'all spread good football content. But what I mean by that is, there was a fraction in this coaching staff last year because the offense seemed like they had one mentality, probably a finesse mentality. The defense had another mentality, right? So now we have a coaching staff is more unified. And when I say you got one mentality that flows through the whole team. It's about details, about physical, about detail and efficiency. Then you got one tempo. I heard reports in the OTAs that the offense is moving fast. They're trying to play fast. They're moving around fast. That's the same tempo that the defense had last year. One tempo. Then when you get all that, then you get one identity of a football team. This is the identity. This is what we try to do all the time. This is who we are. And if you get that, now you know who you are, you know how you go about it, and you know how to get back to it. When we was there last year, the offense seemed confused sometimes in big games because they had no identity and they looked like a total different team than the special teams and the defense. Because your coaching staff was different. But now with Quinn and Quinn on one side with Schottenheimer, all these guys don't work together, and all of them have the same type of mentality. You bring it to the team, and now you get one mentality, one tempo across the team, and one identity. And once you get that, your team can get focused, and now you build the blocks. You build off of that, and then you keep on going. Because now when you listen to the interviews, the defensive players say the same thing as the offensive players. So that means that's being preached. Last year, it was a total different. You listen to Dak Prescott and you listen to one of the defensive players, and you would think they weren't in the same locker room.
See, but that's now,
Now you think you hear the same answers in the same way, and now what that says is McCarthy has a chance now to say we're going to build a foundation and have everybody on the same page. And we got everybody on the same page. Now you can build off that, but that's the first thing that you have to build in a team concept is one mentality, one tempo, and one identity.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about. Like it's crazy because I'm having guys like Kellen Moore and stuff like that. I mean, and Mike McCarthy on the team at the same time. You gotta be on the same page. One mentality, everybody focused and locked in. And it starts off with OTAs, it starts off with minicamp. That's going to be important. Those little things like that, if they can get it together, understand the chemistry. And I'm talking day in and day out, man. When you're on the field, when you're home, studying, things like that. That's why I say when Mike McCarthy said that he's going to have Dak Prescott take over the offense, I mean, that made me so happy because, like, just the mentality of him being in control of everything, that's good because now he can teach guys like Jalen Tolbert. You can teach guys like CeeDee Lamb whatever he needs to know. Stuff like that, that builds confidence in guys like Dak Prescott. And the same thing with the defense. If everybody can be on the same page, this is how you get the championships. One band, one sound, guys. One band, one sound. Shout out to everybody, man. What's good? What's good? He said, Coach Marv equal cheat code.
They like you, Coach Marv. They like you. You the GOAT.
You know that thing when I said about
we all love Coach Marv.
You know that thing I said about when he said about Dak Prescott. I go back a long time with the Cowboys. And I remember with Troy Aikman. Troy Aikman was that type of leader, but what happened when Troy Aikman, remember when Troy Aikman, Jimmy left, and then they brought in Barry Switzer. And then you started to see Troy Aikman do a lot more yelling and directing. And I watched the documentary where Troy said felt too much pressure on him to make sure that the details and the people around me were doing the things right. Because when Jimmy was there, he didn't have to worry about the details of everybody else because he kept everybody else in line so Troy could be a great leader and then take control. But the discipline and the the discipline and keeping the structure together was the head coach. So now what McCarthy is saying, I'm going to give total autonomy to Dak Prescott, but I'm going to lock in the details of the offensive line, the running backs, the receivers, and everybody, for them to be detail-oriented around Dak so Dak can cook. But I can't have them sloppy because I can't have Dak trying to redirect guys on the field and still do his job. I need him to be able to lead, but for the players around him to be on point. And they on point to do their job. I got a talented quarterback that's going to cook. That's what San Francisco does. They can bring any quarterback in, but the details of the guys around them is so perfect that they can make the quarterback look good.
And I ain't even gonna lie, man. Like, I can't stand the 49ers, but you know, we keep it real in the JC Cowboys network. You always got to call a spade a spade. Like, the way that 49ers run their offense that's how I would want us to run ours, even though I know that Dak Prescott is a better quarterback than their quarterbacks. But my thing is, just give the ball to your playmakers, run the ball, and just like you said, time of possession. When you do that, the defense can be able to pin their ears back and get after the quarterback, man. And that's the same thing that the 49ers do all the time. So shout out to my man Dope Meister, man. I got you with the mod too, man. You've been in here a couple times. I appreciate you so much. Shout out to my man Hoodlum. What it do, bro?
Hey.
What's up, homie? What's good? What is good?
The regulars are tapping in.
My man said, where's Rob? Hey, look, JC Cowboys Network, you already know, man. The thing is, like, not when it comes down to creating content and doing things like that, you got to be consistent. That's what it's all about. That's my dog for life. But, you know, whenever he come through and want to come show love, you already know what it is, man. But when it comes down to Cowboys Network, we got to be here. That's what we do. And I'm always going to be here for y'all. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we are with that.
I got a question for you, JC.
Yeah.
I got a question for you. Can you name me 3 wide receivers on San Francisco team, wide receivers other than Debo? And Debo really not a specific wide receiver. He's a hybrid guy. But can you name me 3 other wide receivers?
Well, Ayuk. That's my dog. I like Ayuk. I ain't even gonna lie. I like Ayuk, but I can't really name everybody.
No, and that you're making my point here.
Yeah.
And isn't it amazing that our nemesis has been San Francisco every year for the last 3 years? San Francisco been one of the best teams in the NFC. They're ranked one of the top teams in the NFC this year going into the year. And all these other, when the D Hopkins and the Diggs and all these wide receivers and Odell Beckham was out there, they are never in the rumors of getting any of those wide receivers or even talking to any of those.
Never.
And when it comes up, we have a CeeDee Lamb and a Cooks. And soon as a guy come out like D Hopkins or Diggs maybe gets, maybe talk about a trade, our fan base thinks that we need another number 1 wide receiver.
And you got 3 of them sitting right there.
So if they say that their offense they can beat us and their offense is efficient enough, and they don't need to go chase guys to have over the top guys because they can get the production out of what they got. Why do we think that? I believe we got more talent than they have. Why do we think that we need the 2 or 3 wide receivers, another great wide receiver to come in here to get? How many balls do we have? How many plays we gonna run to be able to service all these guys?
See,
why there's not enough balls.
And that's why I was saying guys like DeAndre Hopkins, they was kind of thinking too much of that. The thing is, when you have a guy like Brandon Cooks, when you have CeeDee Lamb, you have a plethora of wide receivers. You got so many tight ends. The ball. You only got 1 ball. So
that's it. And you're only gonna run about 65 plays. You only gonna run 65 plays in a game, that's good. If you run 70, that's really good. You run 70 plays, you Dak throw the ball 35 times.
You're good.
So how many balls he gonna throw to all these wide receivers? There's not enough balls to go around, and where you're going to be is efficient, like I said, and you will not even know that these guys are missing. That's why. How many teams in the league got two bona fide number one receivers?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
none,
and none. I think that Gallup is going to be one of the guys that's going to surprise this year. I like Gallup. He's one of my favorite wide receivers because how tough he is. The guy sets the tone. He's one of the guys that can catch a dig route, catch a slant route, and set the tone. We know when you get blasted and still catch the ball, you can be able to set the tone. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Let me.
What's a great year for Gallup?
Shoot. If he get, hold on one second. If he get like 1,100 yards, that's good. 1,000, 1,100 yards. I mean, you got so many wide receivers.
Let me tell you something, JC. Name me a third wide receiver in this league in the last probably 10 years, or maybe longer than that got 1,100 yards.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You can't.
That's not going to happen. Let me tell you what a great year for Gallup for me is, right? If CeeDee Lamb does what he did last year and a little bit better, and if Cooks does what he usually do, right? A great year for a guy like Michael Gallup would be, I would say, 50 catches, 700, maybe 600 yards, 700 yards, 5 touchdowns. That's a great year.
Yeah,
because if he could be a 1,100 yard receiver, right, he would be a number 2.
Yes.
And when he a number 3, he's not going to be on the field, but let's say 60% of the snaps, because when you go 21 personnel, which you're going to do a lot, he's not on the field because he's the third wide receiver. I think we're the only team, JC, that we ask our third wide receiver to be all world. But if he's a third wide receiver, he get 50 catches. That is outstanding because you're gonna have 2 wide receivers get 1,000 yards. Where's the 1,000 yards for your third wide receiver?
Exactly. But the thing is, man, we're spoiled when it comes down to that wide receiver position. Like it's gonna be really, really good. Last year it was very, very questionable having guys like Noah Brown and Michael Gallup ailing from that injury, but I think he'll be better this year. But as far as Brandon, his speed can be able to gain separation. You can take the top off the defense. Defenses are going to have to respect that. You cannot roll coverage when it comes down to guys like CeeDee Lamb. They're going to have to play even Steven. You know what I'm saying? Even Steven like the shape up, baby. You know what I'm saying? So that opens up things for Tony Pollard, the tight ends. I mean, it makes it better for Dak Prescott, and I think it'll be good in this Texas Coast offense. It's going to be fireworks, y'all. Shout out to everybody, man. Let me get on to this. Hey, shout out to Brian Kite. What's good? Dope Meister, I got you, bro. What's good? What is good, man? Thank y'all so much. Make sure y'all smash that like button. I appreciate y'all so much. All right, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to move on. All right. Got to talk about these guys, man. The 4 horsemen, Jasmine. That's what they call them, Jasmine. The 4 horsemen, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy because, having these guys, all of these guys playing in the Big Ten. I don't know if you guys know that, but these are all Big Ten tight ends. And we all know that these guys, when it comes to the tight ends and being in the Big Ten, these guys can block. It's either they can block well, they can run good seam routes, very, very athletic. When it's cold outside, right? This is when these guys look. It's crazy because like a lot of teams, they're wearing sleeves and stuff like that. But when you're playing in that Big Ten, being a tight end, they're wearing no sleeves. The toughness, that's what you need out of these guys. You got guys that can block out of these 4. You got guys that can run good routes. You gotta mix it in, but they're going to have to step up. Just like I said, OTAs and mini camps, you want to build up good practices. You got to be consistent because consistency is everything. If they can put it together, and if they're going to run a 12 personnel, if they're going to be able to do this, you're going to have 2 tight ends to be on point throughout training camp and mini camp. And I think that these guys can do it. I'm excited to see how they play out. But as far as guys like Jake Ferguson, I personally think that he's going to be the guy that's going to start. I'm not sure about you, Coach Marv, but I think that Luke Schoonmaker can be something, but it's going to take time. He's going through that foot injury, and we'll see how he shakes out, bro.
I think Jake Ferguson's going to start. This is a copycat league. I think when I think you mentioned earlier about it being a passing league, but sometimes that's fool's gold. And I think when we talk about 4 wide receivers, that's fool's gold as well. Because if you look at the team that's really dominating football right now, the Kansas City Chiefs, their dominant offensive set is 12 personnel. They did that in the Super Bowl, I think, 85% of the time. That's where they're dominate. They have 2 tights. You never understand the other tight because the other tight is their blocking tight end and they have a catching tight end. I believe that they talk about the 4 horsemen. They drafted a guy. We're going to go a lot of 12 personnel. And when we in 12 personnel, we are a very good football team. So what I think with Jake Ferguson again, Ferguson as well as Hendershot and Schoon, I think if Schoon blocks 90% of the time and does a great job of blocking and maybe catch 15, 20 passes and maybe a touchdown, but his blocking is outrageously good, which we won't never look at. Only people like me may looking at film and understand, but a lot of people won't look at. They won't make the highlights. That's a successful year for him because he could gradually move up into catching the ball. Because we got to understand, Dalton Schultz didn't come on the scene as a pass catcher. He had to work to start being a good pass catcher. But again, that's where he's going to work. But I think Ferguson and Hendershot is going to be very good. But you're bringing up a key point when you talk about the 4 horsemen. And it touches back to what we were just talking about. This team there's going to have to be some sacrifices from some of these players on this team because when you go in 12 personnel and you're rocking, and the 12 personnel is rocking.
Mismatch, baby. Game of mismatches.
Well, guess what? Gallup ain't going to be on the field. He might be rocking. But if the 12 personnel rocking, he might be sitting. So for the betterment of the team, there's going to have to be some ego checks to be in that room to say, okay, today is not my day, but we are winning. We are dominating this way. And I may not have the numbers, but we got so much talent, we just can't play 14 guys on the field. So if the tight ends are doing great in 12 personnel and we are rocking and they're catching and they're blocking, we are running the ball, that means some wide receiver is going to be on the sideline drinking Gatorade. So
but that's okay. That's okay though. Yeah, that's okay.
That's all right.
Because the thing is, like, if you, just like you said, man, like bringing these guys to waves, it's the same thing with the defensive line. If you got a bunch of those guys, one of those defensive ends, DeMarcus Lawrence, it might not be your day. Micah Parsons, it might not be your day. It might end up being Sam Williams' day. You know what I mean? As far as the wide receivers and the tight ends, 12 personnel, it depends on the type of scheme that we're playing against the opponent. The tight ends might go off. So if they can just be focused, that's my thing. Like, we don't need no cocky people and stuff like that. Everybody just got to be focused and just win these games. Tight ends, you're going to have your day. Wide receivers, you're going to have your day. But just consistency. Everybody got to be consistent, efficient, and that's how you get the championships, man. That's the
remember Quinn said last year, and this is why I get back to my point about one mentality. Quinn always said that he wanted a lot of players because he wanted to be able to match up with any offense that came out, so he wanted to have the personnel to be able to match up anywhere you go. Don't we look like that's what we're doing on deep offense now? We're getting the personnel. So if we need to match up with 12 personnel and go heavy tight ends and pound you, we got that. If we need to go 3 wide, we could go that way. If we need to go fast running backs, we could go that way. We're matching up, and then we get all these offensive linemen that can switch positions and athletic. We're being able to go wherever you want to go. We can be able to counter your moves with great personnel.
That's what it's all about.
That's the same thing they do on the defense. That's where you get, that's your depth. It makes you more flexible as a team, but you still keep your mentality of what you want to do and get that mentality. But if you need to make a little tweak here and there, it's good to have the personnel to say we can switch it up a little bit to dominate your weakness. That's a great thing, because if we didn't have wide receivers last year, or we don't have tight ends, if we need to lock up and go run and get 12 personnel, we don't have the tight ends. Well, we're gonna get dominated because we can't touch the team weakness because we don't have the material.
Right. Hey, shout out to my man Swain. What's good? Mickey, what's going on? Iceberg, I see y'all. What is good, Jazz? Let them know about the city.
I was telling them, I'm like, look at them, y'all read the comments, because y'all know I'm still talking about December 10th. Let's all go to the Dallas Stadium to watch Eagles versus Cowboys. You guys got time, right? To go see a game. So.
That'll be good,
I'm
right?
trying to get a trip.
That'll definitely be good. We play them Eagles.
I'm trying to go into enemy territory. I got
really.
Hey, Coach Marv, you got my number, right? I text you.
Yeah.
You got it?
Right,
okay.
I got it. I locked you.
Yeah.
I was trying to go into enemy territory the first week of November, because that's my birthday weekend. And I got a great frat brother. I'm a Sigma, matter of fact. And I got a good frat brother of mine who lives in Philly. And he like, man, you want to bring your show on the road to come up here to the Dallas Cowboys Philly game? I said, man, hey, I got to get my old mentality back to go into Philadelphia to go in there with my Cowboy stuff on, because I know, Philly fans are really rough.
I ain't going to
Philly. I think I might make that.
We're closer to Philly. Philly's about what, Jay? Like 2 hours away from us, because we're in DC.
I might make that trip to Philly. If we dominating, that would be a great, because I would love to go into Philly and bring back. It's nothing like going on the road. I have never been to Dallas to watch a game. I don't seen the Cowboys a multitude. I done seen them in Jacksonville. I done seen them in Atlanta 3 or 4 times. I done seen them in Carolina, and I'll probably be at the Carolina game this year. But I done seen them multiple times there. But I have never been to Dallas. That's one of my trips that I want to make, to go to Dallas for a game this year. But
hey, Coach Mark, let me know.
December 10th.
Yeah.
Lock and load. I've been telling everybody December 10th. Hold true to that. Sunday, December 10th.
Hey, Coach, you in South Carolina, right?
Right, I'm in South Carolina, yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, I got a lot of family in Saluda, South Carolina. All my family's in Saluda.
Yeah.
Ton of family.
I'm in Columbia, South Carolina. Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. That's awesome. I might have to come up here and visit you. Yeah.
School in Virginia.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to Mickey. She said, y'all have to go to the Carolina joint. I'm in VA. We definitely gonna come.
Okay.
Hey, we come to you, Mickey. You already know what it is. You already know.
So y'all follow us on Instagram, JC Cowboys Network, or I Love Pretty Jazz. They're both on IG.
Yeah, most definitely.
On there too.
Yeah, this is hey, get on these trips, Cowboys, because this is gonna be a historic season. This is a season. It's been brewing for the last couple of years. This is a historic season. I think the tea leaves are about to fall in place. One thing I like about the Cowboys right now, they're real quiet. Even the ownership is quiet, and that's different. That's different. So I think,
you said the
Cowboys.
The ownership is quiet.
Yeah, they're right. They're so. I see moves being made. So I was on Boss Cowboy show yesterday, and my first move I see in the summertime that Diggs' contract is probably going to fall soon. I had a conspiracy theory about Diggs. I believe his brother has did that's not going to minicamp. And I believe, and this is crazy thing, but follow me on this. I think that was a shot fired for his brother to allow you to know that, hey, even though I have a contract, I'll sit out, because I'm not going to allow my brother to go play on a lamed up contract in his final year. That's not going to happen. And I won't have no problem with Diggs. If training camp, if I don't have my contract by training camp, I will not be there if I was Diggs. Now, I'm not supporting, you're not playing, but listen, the kid has earned the right to get another contract, and he's not going to play on a 1-year deal with no guarantees after this, and something happened and he doesn't get paid because he's a second-round pick. Now, he was a first-round pick, he would have had first-round money, but he got second-round money, and he has outplayed his contract. He needs to get his extension before training camp.
Yeah, so no fifth-year option for him. No fifth-year option. So that means that you have to shift focus on him right now and not CeeDee Lamb. You have to shift focus on him.
Yeah, you can let CeeDee Lamb go into the 5th year. That's not no problem. Yeah. You can let CeeDee Lamb and Michael Process way down the line. You never. Even though you can talk about you can get it cheaper, you're not going. Listen, when we talk about signing guys early, you're gonna get them cheaper. Don't you know that agent know what the? Don't they know? Say, hey, well, in 2 years, this is what the market value is gonna be. I'm not gonna sign a contract now. In 2 years from now, I'll be behind the 8 ball. We're gonna drag this out. And I'm going to get, unless you're going to sign me to a market deal that's going to meet 2 years later, then we can sign early. But if you're trying to sign me at the market today and it starts 2 years from now, no agent falls for that. No player falls for that. That's why you can never sign Dak. People talking about you could sign Dak in the 2nd year. No, you could. Once Dak got past the 2nd year, his agent said, we're going to ride this thing all the way out, right? And then we go get the deal that's in the market of what that is now. And you can't sign me early unless you want to go way over the top. We can sign early. But if you're not going way over the top, because I don't want to get 5-6 years down the line and I'm still behind everybody. That's not smart business. It takes 2 to make a contract. But Diggs right now is the prime. Diggs and Terrence Steele are your 2 guys that have. Terrence Steele had an injury. He needs his contract, and Diggs needs his contract before training camp starts because you need to lock these guys up. If you don't, if they kind of balk on something, I can understand that because they ain't getting no franchise tag money. They're getting regular money, and they can't risk going further, and they get another injury or get hurt, and they'll never get their payday. They need their payday.
Right. Just like Ella said, like they should have paid Diggs yesterday. Yesterday's price ain't today's price.
That's what
his price ain't gonna change.
Straight up. Yep. You keep waiting, the more you're gonna pay.
He's not playing on lame duck contract.
Yeah. And the thing is with him, man, like I said, he's from the DMV area, and a lot of the coaches that I went to school with, guys that I went to school with, coached him. The dude has that gritty mentality. He's going to keep on doing good things, so they got to hurry up and get it done. We'll see how it all plays out, man, but definitely a special player. And man, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to move on real quick because time kind of going fast on the. Shout out to my man, Eric Wallace. What's good, bro? Shout out to you, Common Sense Lab. What it do, baby? What is good? What is going on? All right, so I did a little edit, you know what I'm saying? I got a little chop up for us or whatever, so we got to break this guy down. Me and my man, Coach Marv, man. My man, Coach Marv is in the building. You in the JC Lounge. So we're going to do this, y'all. This is what we're going to do with it. Let's see if okay, there it is. Okay, Dorance Armstrong. I know there's a lot of questions. A lot of people were saying that he might possibly be traded, but I think that this guy is an absolutely good player, okay? 33 tackles, 13 tackles for a loss, 8.5 sacks. This is a player, man, that could be able to set the edge, and you can see that right there. Letting the running back get inside and getting after the ball carrier. Having a guy like that, being able to extend your arms and set the edge is extremely important, man. And gap integrity is everything. The thing is about this player, just like I said about Dan Quinn, bringing these guys in waves and having a lot of these guys just come against these offensive linemen. We know these offensive linemen get tired. It is going to be extremely important. My thing is, a lot of people are saying that they don't really like Dorance Armstrong, or they might want to bring another player in and stuff like that. But I think that this guy can be able to make a difference. And the thing that's so crazy is when he came to Dallas, he didn't start off so fast, but now he's just getting better. He's getting better. And on top of that, he's good on special teams. When you can have a player that can get a block punt or a block field goal, that can be able to change games. And I got that in the highlights too. But just having a guy like him, man, I think that if you can just continue to keep bringing him in waves, that's going to make it better for the defense and everybody else in the front seven, Coach Marv.
Yeah, I think. Well, let me give it some words.
Man.
I get on that. No,
Hey, hold on, man. Shout out to my man. Shout out to my man.
Right.
Shout out to my man. Shout out to my man. Hold up. Let me press pause on that real quick. Hold up, man. Shout out to my man, DC Rough Riders, bro. Thank you so much for the love, bro. Thank you. You definitely keep the lights on when it comes down to JC Cowboys Network, man. Thank you, man. I love you so much, brother. Thank you. Always coming through here in the support. Cowboys Nation, y'all are the best, man. I cannot wait to this season, man. This is going to be so good. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you, man. All right, Coach Marv. Thank you, man. Gosh.
Hey, let me speak on Dorance Armstrong. When we start having little problems with our integrity with our run, I had a little insider. They pointed a lot of fingers at Dorance Armstrong, and he had to get his game back together because he got pass rush happy, where he wasn't setting the edge like he's supposed to. But Dorance Armstrong is a good player, and his special teams ability is special because of his size and his technique in special teams.
Hey, look at him, Coach Marv. Watch this.
Right. That's special when you have a guy that's that big.
When you make plays like this on special teams, this is the key plays that you need when it comes down to players like that.
Now, this is where he's going to be this is what's keeping him on this roster. Now, going back, everything ties in together. Going back, if they play less plays on defense,
look at him here. Look at him here, Coach Marv.
He block a punt every year. That's what he's gonna do every year. Every year he's gonna block a kick because that's the guy. He knows how to block. He always. He's just not a rusher. He knows how to block a kick. He knows when to leave his feet and the right angle and trajectory to get to the front of the toe. So that's special. That don't come with everybody. But his plays might be a little limited. This year, if our offense is controlling, we play less plays, there's going to be a little limited in the plays because we're hoping we don't have to play 70, 80 plays like we did last year. And we get around to 50 or 55 plays, that means some people are going to get some playing time cut. And if our defense is cooking around trade deadline and you get to sign some of these young guys that can play a 5 or 6 plays, right? You're not signing Dorance Armstrong back. This is the last contract.
Yeah.
If you're cooking and your offense is moving and you got that time possession thing down and you're cooking as a defense, if I can get a 4th round, 5th round, a 4th round pick for him at trade deadline for next year, I gotta let him go because now I'm building my team because he is not getting but 8, 9, 10 plays a game.
Right.
So that way, now that's what I'm saying. There's going to be a limit because if you look at the stats and the amount of plays, guess who played better than him last year?
Right. Hey, shout out to Regina. Shout out to Regina with the $50. Regina, what is good?
Man, look at that. Hey, I'm bringing y'all.
Shout out to Regina. Wow.
Love y'all, man.
Y'all are over here following up. Regina, Mickey over here going back to back. Everybody going back to back.
I swear, this is the type of stuff, man, that makes me just want to create. And I appreciate y'all so much. I appreciate that y'all appreciate my skill set and what I can bring to Cowboys Nation. Thank y'all so much, man. Thank y'all. Y'all are the best. Coach Marv, Mickey, thank you so much, man. I love y'all so much. I can't wait till we all link together. Trust me, football season is coming around. I need some more to drink. I need some more to drink, man. I need some more to drink.
Marv, December 10th. I need to see Law Nation, all of them, December 10th.
Man.
I need to see all of y'all. Regina, December 10th. marketing calendar.
Man,
Let's
hey,
just bring
man.
it into fruition and just let it happen. Who knows?
Man, I'm trying to tell you, man.
Listen at JC. When you put good things in the atmosphere, it may take a while for it to come back around, but it's coming.
Yeah,
It's coming.
Facts.
When you put good comment in the atmosphere, some people think it's right around the corner. When you put it in the air, it's supposed to come right back down. No, it goes in the air. It may take a while to come back around, but it's coming.
Yeah.
And you putting good content out there. You putting a Cowboys perspective. You're not putting the content out there in a fantasy world of thinking. But you putting good content and you're consistent, and your mentality of keep going and keep pushing. That's where it's gonna be. That's where you're gonna be beneficial. The same thing that this community is taking, we're asking our Cowboy team to take it. It may be some chances we may take here and there, but being consistent and being loyal and dedicated to your craft will always bring great results. It may not come in a minute, but it is on the way.
Yeah, and that's the thing, man. And that's not just YouTube or anything that you guys are doing in life. Just know that, man, consistency is everything. Trying to do things that's a different way, a different kind of mindset, but just sticking to it, guys. Sticking to it. That's why I love y'all so much. You guys got the same energy as me, the same energies I bring in my videos.
That's how we are. Like normally.
Man. It's just so awesome, man. You guys are such the best. Jazz, I'm so glad you put me onto this YouTube.
I know. I've been doing YouTube since 2012.
Jazz, that's hey, man, teamwork is what builds things, man. And two people focus on things. You always have two perspectives. You keep each other in motivated and pushing. Aww. That's the key to it's always sometimes we have to be pushed and motivated in certain areas of our own space, the thing that our own purpose, and that's what we want to do, man. This man all over, man. You can every Cowboy Nation, every Cowboy YouTube channel. I've been on a lot of them. Right,
everybody special in their own way, man. Everybody got their own.
Right, but it tells you that something is in the atmosphere for this season, and if we could just be patient as a community and not allow the outsiders to get us off track with all these crazy rumors and all this other direction. It's almost I was on Big Game James show, and I've said when people be talking about
I got a link with him too. I got a link with Big Game. Yeah,
right. When people say that, you know what I'm saying? It reminds me when you playing your little brother in basketball outside, and he's a little brother, you always beating him, and you taking him down low and posting him up and scoring. And then what your little brother say? Oh, I bet you can't beat me shooting outside. And know what the big brother say? I don't need to go outside. I'm going to do this until you can stop this. I'm not going to do something else. But that's what the media be doing. The media see us say, oh, man, they got a great running game. Oh, man, Dak ain't threw for 300 yards. Y'all need to start throwing above a touchdown because they're trying to get you off of what you do well to make you good. So let McCarthy cook, and he understands the direction you want to go, and let's buy into his direction, because if we don't buy into the coach, we're gonna lose anyway. If we don't think the coach can get us there, we ain't gonna get there.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, like, okay,
we don't think he's gonna get there. We're not gonna get there.
I do want
to get there,
and I do want to get your thoughts on this whole Texas Coast offense, because here's the thing, man. Like, just like I said earlier, like having Dak Prescott take over the offense, that's everything. You can be comfortable mentally. You can teach the other guys. 70% of the offense, they're saying they're going to still keep the things that you do well. That's good. The other 30% is the new things that they're going to put in there, the new wrinkles, some 12 personnel, the West Coast offense, whatever they do. You know what I'm saying? Get the ball to these guys in space. Let these guys cook. That's all good. But my thing is, man, just getting back to what you do best. And the other 30%, I think you could be able to take it over the top. But it was funny because this whole Texas Coast offense, that kind of cracked me up. It kind of sounds like Texas toast a little bit, a little French toast. You know what I'm saying?
If it works, they're gonna have. If it works, he could be something else. But they're gonna. Hey, they got a trademark on this. But listen, let me give you give y'all a little coaching perspective. 70% of all offenses, every offense is the exact same. So when a person tell you they changed it 30%, they changing a whole lot.
30% is a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah, 70% of all offenses, all offenses have the same. There's only one way you can run sweeps and counters and all that. So 70% of offenses, all offenses are the same. It's the 30% that's different. So if you change it to 30%, you're changing just about all your offense.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah, you're changing a lot. You're definitely changing a lot.
So, but you keep it terminology. JC, don't you think we need this? We've been running the same offense for the last 7-8 years. And listen, I can tell you this. When you watch the games, you can actually tell what formation we're going to go in and what we're going to do by watching the games now, because we've been running the same. Scott Linehan went to Jason Garrett to Scott Linehan to Kellen Moore, the same philosophy, same route, same formation for the last 7 years. So now what we're going to do is, where I'm hearing every time in the interviews, they said we're changing 30%, but we're being more detail oriented. We're putting more details into it, and we're being more detail oriented so we can be efficient at the things that we do well.
And on top of that,
that's
and,
right.
And mainly having how Dak is going to adapt to the new system. That's the thing. Opening it up for him. Let it be open, wide open for him, and they can just slowly just learn it off season, get into training camp, and then that's when these guys can get cooking. I can't wait to see it, bro. I can't wait. It's going to be good.
Like basketball? JC, you like basketball?
I mean, I watch it, but I'm literally like all football.
Let's talk about a guy that everybody knows, Michael Jordan.
Yeah,
Michael Jordan had certain spots on the floor that were his sweet spots. He didn't care who it was out there, what defense was. When he got to that spot, he was going to hit it 90% of the time. This is what McCarthy is telling Dak. We're going to find the things that you do well. I don't care what their defense come up. You do it so well, if we get to it, you're going to complete it, and it's going to be good because that's your sweet spot.
Right, facts.
That's how you coach. You say, this is your sweet spot. I'm going to get you to your sweet spot. And regardless what the defense does, you do it so well that you're going to be 85% successful because this is what you are master at this. And if he can master what Dak does well and master what the receivers does well at the same time, now you got something. Everybody knew Jerry Rice was going to catch a slant on the post. Everybody in the league knew that. But you couldn't stop it. Why? Because Montana and Young, that's their sweet spot, and that was Jerry Rice's sweet spot. And he's going to get it regardless of what you do.
It's definitely.
Kellen Moore was all over the place. He didn't know nobody's sweet spot. He called one set of plays this week. Next week he called something else. Next week he called something else. And then you go in the game and say, what do you, as a player, you almost say, man, you always start second guessing yourself. Like, what do I do well? I don't even know what I do well.
Yeah, but when it came to Kellen Moore, it seemed like he was just going into the games where he was just going to run his plays. He didn't want to adjust. He was going to run these plays. Sometimes that's what happens when you're a quarterback that used to play on the blue field. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got the mentality that I want to call these plays, and that's what it is. But when you're playing against teams like the 49ers,
out of the John Madden playbook. When you play John Madden football, there is no structure in your plays. You flipping through and you run the plays that you like to run, regardless. You're not worried about what the defense is. You running plays with it, and that's how he ran his thing. Like he was in the basement in his pajamas playing John Madden football. That's how he ran his offense. And you know something? When guys play John Madden, they have really no rhyme reason. 1 week they do this, 1 week they don't have no reason to say I'm building this to get my team this or the physicality of this. It's nothing about that. It's about I switch up and run different ways to try to trick people. And that's how we ran our offense. But the only reason why it's successful is because, believe it or not, we had some great players. We had so much talent that we made it look good. But anytime the talent got hurt, guess what we look? We look bad.
Yeah.
So my confidence then, I'm going to get it where this offense is going to be so efficient. I'm going to find out what the Dak does well. I'm going to find out what Cooper Rush does well. And if Cooper has to come in the game, we're going to do that so he can feel that's his sweet spot and he can feel comfortable because he's doing the things that he does well. And we're going to have to do it over and over and over again. That sounds crazy, but that's smart.
It's smart. It's
smart. Over and over and over again.
And like you said, man, just being comfortable is definitely going to be good. I cannot wait, guys. I mean, we got the talent. We got the guys to do it. We got the guys. If you're lining up against us, we can be able to scrape them and get them off the field. I can't wait. It's a lot of teams that we got to play. There's some good teams on the schedule this year. But if we can be able to just lock in, do what we do best as far as the defense, special teams, we've seen guys like Dorance Armstrong. That's why I say, man, you don't want to let this guy go. Keep this guy going. Definitely had to do that edit. These guys have what it takes, Cowboys Nation, but they gotta put it together.
Yep.
It's gonna be some good Sundays because now the JC Lounge is intact. Now I never did it during the full season. Yeah, during the season.
Look, y'all don't really see us during the week like that. Y'all don't see us in the week, but when football season comes to Coach,
that's gonna be lit. It's gonna be lit. You gotta jump in with it.
I don't see a lot of people being cut, JC, because you got your whole team signed and you still got cap money. And I think the cap money is gonna sign some of our own guys to extensions. So really, it's not gonna be. You really ain't gonna have to really get rid of maybe a Dorance Armstrong or nobody because you need to free up money because they're gonna be off the books next year. You're gonna probably try to keep those guys on the team, but again, in that locker room and in that coaching staff, we have to preach that this is a team. There's one mentality, one goal is the Super Bowl, and there's gonna be some sacrifices that has to be because the ultimate goal is do your part when your part is called upon. It may not be called upon a lot, or it may be called upon not a lot, maybe called upon a whole lot. But do the job because the ultimate goal is to win the Super Bowl, and everybody has to do their part. And we can't let egos sip in there and get us off with it. I think sometimes when a team starts winning, everybody buys into that, and they say, hey, man, the greater good of winning a Super Bowl is what we want. And I think that's what they're building because when you have so much talent, again, some people going to have to sacrifice some of their great plays for the greater good for somebody else to make a play.
And that's okay. So let me ask you this real quick, because before we get out of here. So as far as Zach Martin, you said that you feel as though that he's not going to be with us in the next year or something like that.
Well, let me explain what I said about Zach Martin.
That's my dog right there, Coach Marv. I don't know.
Zach Martin is on the last year of his contract. Next year will be the last year of his contract. Didn't ask for no extension. His cap hit next year is $24.5 million.
Ooh. His cap hit?
Yeah. They have pushed his contract because the 40 years is all wrapped up. They have pushed it, and there's no more kicking it down the road. There's no more years you can kick it down the road. The only way you're gonna get rid of that $24 million is to sign him to another 2 or 3 year deal. And guess what? Zach Martin is best friends with Fredericks and his wife, and Zach Martin's wife has already talked about him retiring, and him and Fredericks' wives are best friends.
I think Zach Martin want to win, though, Coach Marv. I think he wants to win.
I know he want to win.
Honestly, I think he has at least 2 or 3 years in him.
No,
I think
he's
so.
Not gonna play.
I think so.
Zach Martin is the type of guy. Listen,
Zach Martin is the GOAT. Zach Martin.
Like if he wanted to play 2 or 3 years, right, he would have been asked for the extension.
I mean, can he ask for it?
We already know what his cap hit next year is $24 million. You can't get rid of that 20. There's no more years you can spread out. You can't even say, okay, we're gonna restructure because they're only 1 year. The only way you can do that is give it. And now, let me tell you what the Cowboys is.
But I hear what you're saying, but a lot of people aren't talking about that right now, Coach Marv. They're not talking about that. So
why they ain't talking about that?
Stuff right now.
You know why they ain't talking about that? We know. We don't even need to say the underlying thing why they ain't talking about that, because Zach Martin. You're not gonna talk about Zach Martin. If it was somebody else, they would talk about it, but they're not gonna talk about his money. They don't ever talk about people like Zach Martin's money. They ain't gonna talk about this money. So we already know why they're not talking about it. So anyway, but I say it like this: if he wanted a extension, they would have signed an extension. Now let me tell you what the Cowboys gonna do. Let's say that they want to sign an extension. They spread that money 2 or 3 years. In the Cowboys, would I want to do that? Oh no! He in the 13, 14 year. I'm not riding that horse till he falls, because if I sign an extension, he do a Thomas Frederick thing on me and say, "Oh, I got hurt. Now I don't want to play." I'm stuck with his cap money for 3-4 years. So it's point like this. And if this team gets to where I think they're gonna get to, let's say this team wins a Super Bowl.
Right.
He is definitely walking out the door. What is our plan
come on, man. Come on.
What is our plan for? Listen, when you can walk out this game and you still can be healthy somewhat.
Yeah.
That's my dog, man.
And you don't want a championship, and you can walk off this game, maybe 6. And I'm quite sure he probably got his first dollar he got. And your wife, listen, and your wife is already on you about being with the kids and retiring.
Yeah. It just hurts my heart though, because I just know the type of player he is and what he has done for this organization on and off the field.
I'm not downing his play, but I understand the mentality. And when guys don't ask for extension, when they go in and their cap hit, he has pushed his contract down the line. Now it's coming to a point with $24 million. He understands that there is not an extension that's going to pay him the amount of money he wants for a 3 or 4 year period. I would not trust it. You don't play a lineman in a 3 or 4 year period at a guard position, and we don't know if something goes wrong, he retired. Man, Frederick just got off our salary cap.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He just got off.
Crazy. He's been gone for a while.
Because you just signed him to an extension, then he retired.
Every year.
Yeah.
Yep. Moving years down the board.
Yeah. And listen, they're not. I'm not saying, but if you win like you want to win this year, there's no need for Tyron and Zach to keep on pushing, because they're already Hall of Famers. They're already Hall of Famers. They're Hall of Famers. They got the hardware. Why I'm still out here beating on my body, and I know that I'm not going to no other team. That's not even. I'm not even uproot my family. We're not going to another team. So, and the Cowboys ain't gonna pay no money for you to know that, man, this horse might break down in a minute. We're gonna ride off in the sunset, and I wouldn't have no.
I like that. I mean, it's sad, but I like that option too.
I know, right? Hey, look, and to sum it all up, my man said, "Hey, look, it's time to win now."
Yes.
That's what
this year's gonna be that year. That's why we all need to link up. December 10th, Dallas Cowboys Stadium, Eagles versus Dallas.
I know. Hey, look, we've been talking some good football. Hold on, Jazz. Look, we've been talking some good football. Shout out to y'all, man. We love y'all so much. Go ahead, Jazz.
December 10th, we're going to talk about it. We're going to speak into existence. We all going to meet up. Dallas Cowboys Stadium, Eagles versus Dallas. You already know, Super Bowl Sunday. Let's make it happen.
Right.
December 10th day. I'm just throwing it out there. You never know. Life's too short. Gotta make it happen.
Las Vegas, right?
No, it's the Dallas Stadium, I think.
That's in Dallas Stadium, against the Eagles.
No, but Super Bowl this year is in Las Vegas, right?
Oh, I think so.
It is. Yeah.
So, we make it to the championship, we're going to make it to
the last year's Super Bowl was I had a couple of friends of mine that went to the Super Bowl, man. They said it was they went to Super Bowls before, and they say the one in SoCal was much cheaper than the one that they went to. They went to the year before in California. They said it was over the top expensive, but SoCal was a lot less expensive. And they say Las Vegas might be a little bit in that range too. For a Super Bowl, the cost of everything when he comes to being a Super Bowl, about having a Super Bowl city. But I think I think this is the year, and I'm gonna see what I can do, man, to try to come in December. But if I make that trip in November, it might be hard for me to turn around in December. But
I know, yeah, because then
if I go, I want to go. Yeah, my birthday weekend, and that's why I want to go. But I may make that because I want to go. I think only reason I'm talking about going to Philadelphia because my frat brother said, "Hey man, I'll buy your plane ticket and your ticket." So if he's saying you gonna do that,
then do it, right?
I'm on the plane.
I know one person that'll come to the December 10th Eagles games with me is DC Rough Riders.
Hey.
I know he would. Right?
One game
DC,
of
many. And
many.
DC Rough Rider, he was on a show yesterday with when I was pointing out some film study on why that the running back didn't play as much in the playoff game. What's the backup running back that they say didn't play?
You talking about Malik Davis?
Yeah, Malik Davis did play in the playoff game. He did play, and he whiffed on one of the biggest blocks that almost got Dak killed, and that was the last play he played. So, so he did play. Yeah, he did play, but I'm not saying he.
This was on Boss Cowboys. On his channel.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
And we was because it was a subject by Zeke and about how bad Zeke played. Zeke did not play bad against San Francisco. He only had 4 carries the whole second half. 4. The running backs in the second half of the Cowboy game, or the San Francisco game. Know how many carries we had as running backs? 4 carries.
4 carries.
4.
We
ran the ball 6 times, 2 by CeeDee Lamb and 4 carries by the running backs.
See, you're not going to beat teams like the 49ers like that. You're not.
No attention to run the ball.
No attention to run the ball. See, but before we leave, but that's why I say that, like, picking up guys, people talking about DeAndre Hopkins, that's going to run you away from doing what you want to do best, and that's running the ball. We got to get back to what we were doing when we had guys like DeMarco Murray, when we had guys like Marion Barber, guys that can be able to take over games. You want to stay true to that. Know and understand that you got the wide receivers to create separation, take the top off the defense, but pick your shots when it's time. You got to be patient, man. That's how you can be able to dissect defenses, and that's how you can be able to get to where you need to be.
Right quick, JC, what you just said, picking up guys runs away from what makes Dak Prescott good, right? Isn't that the same scenario I'm talking about when your little brother be saying, I bet you can't shoot from outside? See, people keep trying to run you off of what makes you good. Because they keep saying, no, you got to do this. And when you fail, right? When you fail, they say, you sorry. They say, I got you.
Yeah.
Hey, know yourself and do your thing. That's a lesson for life, people. You're going to have people out there that's going to try to get you off track, to get you in something else away from your flow. And they're going to try to make it seem like, and once you get off and then you fail, then they're going to be like, I don't know why you ran away from that. Know yourself and stay true to yourself.
Hey, shout out to before we get out of here, we said some juicy stuff. He said, JC, bro, we are a passing team this year. All the big guns are at wide receiver. Yeah, man, look, the thing is, though, Iceberg, hey, bro, I love you, dog. But, hey, bro, they got to stick to the run. They got to stick to the run. Stay true to what you do best. We know that they got the wide receivers. We can run the 12 personnel. You got the guys, Brandon Cooks, all of them. CeeDee Lamb coming off a very, very good year. He might have a better year this year because having a guy like Brandon Cooks, but stay true to the run. That's how we're going to be able to beat the 49ers, because we don't want to be predictable. Those better teams in the playoffs, once we get into the playoffs, if we're running the ball, we become predictable, and that's how they can be able to get the advantage. You got to stay true to it, pick our shots, and then see what happens, man. And shout out to my man, Chris Weaver, man. He said, love this content. Thank you so much, bro. Thank you, man. All right, anything else, Coach Paul, man, before we get out of here, bro?
I'm going to say right quick. Philadelphia brought in Brown in last year and had another wide receiver, and everybody said, man, they brought these guys and they're gonna be a more of a pass team. They ran the ball even more when they brought the guy in, and they let the guy make big plays. But they were a running team. So again, just because you got wide receivers doesn't mean you have to be a passing team. I say this all the time, and people don't really understand it. You control the game with the running game, you score points in the passing game. You control the game with the running game, you score points in the passing game. It's almost like boxing. You control the fight with the body blows. You knock out people with those headshots. If you don't control the body by throwing more body blows, you don't have the opportunity to get clean headshots. If we run the ball efficient, we're going to get opportunity to get clean, wide open touchdowns to score with our weapons. But if we get one-dimensional, the windows get closed, people start dialing up blitzes, and we get out of the rhythm of what we do well. Complimentary football, I love it. I love the show. JC and you two, y'all keep on pushing and doing what you're doing.
For real.
In your flow. And don't let anybody, friend or foe, get you off your focus of where you're going, because at the end of the day, you all going to go to the top. And at the end of the day, you have to stay focused on your flow. Some may drop off, some may gain on, but the goal is to push your talents to the farthest you can push them.
Hey, look, and the thing that's so crazy is, like, it's so awesome. Like, with me, I'm like, when it comes to JC Cowboys Network, like, I'm like one of the biggest competitors. Like, that's just how I've always been in my life. And I look at all the content creators, I be like, man, these guys are good. These guys are good. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, everybody has their own little type of skill set. With me, like, I'll create like a movie as far as like editing and just doing Cowboys talk, aggression. That's just what I am. And just seeing guys like Boss Cowboy Sports, Law Nation, what they're doing on their live streams. My boy Landlord from Alabama. Now you got my guy HTM. He's on the rise too. So all these guys, I think that when it comes down to these content creators, nobody is on our level, man. Nobody's on our level, man. And it's good to hear these guys on the stream, Coach Marv, man.
No team has got the content that the Cowboys, and they're trying to duplicate it for what the Cowboy base is doing, and that's a niche. And when you start new shows, JC, when you start new different slogans or shows or things that you lock in on, if it starts to grow, just make sure you just patent everything you do. Facts. That's just patent. You patent whatever you do, and it may be an expense. You're like, oh man, why you patenting that thing? But you never know what expense that somebody else would and how much it costs.
Thank you
never
so
know
much.
the value that somebody else bought it.
All right, Jazz. Let them know, Jazz. Go holler at them before we done, Jazz. I'm gonna give you.
Appreciate you for tuning in. Thank you all for tuning in, and tune in for the next JC Lounge. Shout out to Coach Marv for being a part of this segment, man. Everybody gives you major respect in this Dallas Cowboys Nation world. So you much respect. Thank you again for your time. We love you on here.
That's what it's all
Thank you
about.
so much. Y'all have a wonderful weekend, and happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. And y'all enjoy and enjoy your fathers, man, because Father's Day, I lost my father about 4.5 years ago, and
Sorry to hear that, man.
He was a big part of my life. He wasn't a Cowboy fan. He was a Raider fan. He was a Raider man. But he was a big part of my life. He taught me sports well all the way through, from every genre of sports. But man, happy Father's Day, everybody. Thank y'all for letting me have the time. Salute to y'all.
Thank y'all so much. Happy Father's Day. Love y'all so much. We'll be back on for another show. You know what I'm saying? I got my man Coach Marv on the hip now, so he's definitely going to come in and tap in. And all the things that he comments, I want him to come on to the show and talk about it. We got to break it down. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it's all about. So y'all have a good night, and we'll see y'all soon. Good, y'all.